You should only be completing this assignment if you're feeling very confident with your ability to understand ionic and covalent bonding. This goes above and beyond what you would need to do for a practical biology class, but it will be helpful in preparing you for chemistry next year. Let's start out by defining ionic bonds. So take a minute and see if you can write a definition. Pause the video here. I'm going to ask you for your definition, and then you can restart the video and I'll go over the definition of an ionic bond. An ionic bond is a bond where two atoms interact by either giving away or accepting an electron. This results in two charged atoms. Before we predict bonding patterns for the two different combinations of atoms that I have at the bottom, we want to go over the number of protons, number of electrons, and then number of electrons in the outer shell. Don't forget that this is technically called valence for each of these elements. So let's find sodium on the periodic table. Sodium is over here, and the atomic number of sodium is 11. So it will have 11 protons, it will have 11 electrons, and if we think about our shells, let's actually even in the side here draw, first shell gets 2 electrons, second shell can hold up to 8 electrons. So let's figure it out for sodium. So we're going to put the first 2 in the first electron shell. So now we have 9 left over. Then we'll put the next 8 in the next shell. That's 2 plus 8 is 10, which means we have 1 left over. So there's 1 electron in its outer shell. Okay, you try the rest of them. And then when you're ready, you can unpause the video and check your work. Okay, check your work, and if you do not match what I wrote down, please talk to a teacher and see where you went wrong. All right, now we are going to predict ionic bonds. So we're going to look at the information that we collected up top. So we're looking at potassium and fluorine. So potassium has 1 electron in its outer shell, and fluorine has 7 in its outer shell. And so what we need to ask ourselves is, what does potassium want to do? What does fluorine want to do? Most likely, potassium's going to want to get rid of that 1 electron. That's the easiest thing it can do. But for fluorine to get rid of 7 electrons, that would be really hard. So fluorine's probably going to accept 1 electron to make a full outer shell. So let's draw our atoms as if that happens. So we're going to have K, which is 19, which is potassium. And so we have 19 electrons. So I'm going to draw out those electrons. 2 in the first shell. You can draw out with me. When you get to the last electron, don't draw it, because that's the one that it wants to get rid of. So I'm just going to draw it out here, and it's going to want to give that one up. It's easy to bounce that one off because it's only 1. And then let's do fluorine. Same way. So again, fluorine's valence is going to be 7, so it wants 1 more. So we're going to accept that electron. Okay, so now that fluorine has accepted an electron, can you predict the charge on that atom? You should have said the charge was -1 because it gained a negative. And potassium lost a negative, so what's that charge going to be? You should have said it became positive because it gave up 1 negative. And now we have this electrostatic force that holds these 2 atoms together, and that's our ionic bond. And if we were writing a chemical formula for this, we would write KF, potassium fluoride. All right, now we're going to try sodium and oxygen. This one's a little trickier. Let's do our first thing here and just say sodium has 1 electron in its outer shell, and oxygen has 6 in its outer shell. It's looking to get 8. Sodium can only provide 1, So what is that going to mean about how many sodium atoms we need in order to make oxygen happy? Did you say that we're going to need 2 sodium atoms? If you did, you're correct. So let's draw this out. We're going to start with the sodium. Don't draw that third electron shell. We'll just draw the electron kind of floating out there because sodium wants to get rid of it. And we're going to draw another sodium atom because we're going to need 2 electrons to make our oxygen happy. Okay, and now let's draw oxygen. Ooh, I gave him too many electrons. We'll draw this one. Boop. And then this one over here is provided. Okay, so when this sodium gave up an electron, it became what charge? Hope you said +1. This sodium also became +1, but the oxygen gained 2 electrons, so what is its overall charge? Should have said -2. So the chemical formula for this salt is Na2O. Now we're going to take a look at covalent bonds. So remember, with ionic bonds, you're seeing a transfer of electrons. One atom gives its electron to another atom, but in covalent bonds, we have shared electrons. So see if you can write a good definition of that. Pause the video here, and then you can restart it for my definition. So a covalent bond is when 2 or more atoms, share electrons to fill their outer shells. So we're going to do the same thing that we did on the other side. We're going to look at all of these elements, and we're going to use a periodic table and determine the number of protons, electrons in the outer shell, and number of electrons to fill the outer shell. So pause the video here, see if you can complete this, and then restart to see the answers. If you have any that don't agree, make sure you reach out to a teacher. Okay, so once again, check your work. Make sure that you agree with what I wrote. If you have any questions, make sure you reach out to a teacher. Now let's take a look and see if we can create some covalently bonded molecules. So we're going to start with carbon and hydrogen. Carbon requires 4 electrons to fill its outer shell. Hydrogen requires 1. So the hint here is that carbon is going to require multiple hydrogen atoms. So see if you can draw it. I'm going to start out, I'm going to put carbon in the center. So there's my carbon. I'm going to draw my electrons in. And when you do this, draw an electron at each of the cardinal directions, north, south, east, and west. Now see if you can fill in the hydrogens. Pause the video here. See if you can fill in the hydrogens, and then restart the video so you can see the answer. So each hydrogen is going to provide 1 electron. And we're going to overlap our electron shells. And since carbon needs 4 electrons, we are going to use 4 hydrogen atoms to provide that. So can you predict what's the chemical formula going to be for this molecule? If you said CH4, you're correct. Now, naming carbon molecules is kind of funny, but this molecule is called methane. And it's based on the number of bonds, or rather the number of carbons that are found in the molecule. We're going to see more of that a little bit later. Okay, our next challenge is hydrogen and oxygen. Again, we're going to start with, so hydrogen can provide 1. Oxygen has it needs 2 more to fill out its shell. Oxygen's the bigger atom, so we're going to start with that one. And what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to put my single electrons here that are looking for a partner, and my other 2 pair here, and see if you can put in your hydrogens now. Pause the video. So if you did this with your hydrogen, you did great. You created the Mickey Mouse molecule. What would be the chemical formula for this molecule? Pause the video, see if you can answer that. If you said H2O, you are correct, and of course that's water.